loving others was as simple as loving so completely that one may never question their belongings. Here to share her wisdom on love with a speech titled Love and Others. Please help me welcome Rebecca Reece.
Love and other. This is not on. Test, 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 test. There we go. Love and other. What does that mean, really? Well, as Toastmasters, we have loving others down to a science, haven't we? If you're new, you're learning that now. If you're a Toastmaster already, you understand that. We love others. But what about outside this room of like-minded people? Are we loving others? And can we love an other? Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, honored guests, dignitaries. Mother Teresa said that loneliness and the feeling of being unwanted is the most terrible poverty. I grew up in that kind of poverty. See, I was fifth of 7 children by 6 different fathers. I don't even know who my biological father is or was, but I got the feeling early on that my mother didn't like him very much. Daily, my mother expressed her disdain and her hatred for me. In my own home, I was an other. Now, amidst all of that abuse and pain and the darkness that comes with it, I had a light. My grandmother was my light and my love. She was as good at cooking as she was bad at driving. Seriously, when grandmother had her driving shoes, nobody called shotgun. Back middle was the safe place to be. My grandmother, my light and my love. In fact, everything I know now about love, I learned from her. At home, the message I was getting was how unworthy of love I was. So I had to know. Grandmother, why do you love me? Baby girl, we are candles and love is fire. That didn't really answer my question. How, Grandma? We are candles, and the flame is our love. We are called to share that love with others. And remember, baby girl, fire does not discriminate. Fire consumes everything it touches. Baby girl, love like that. While our mom was off pursuing her own interests, as it were, we got left with my grandmother a lot, and I loved it because I got to share her bed. One Saturday night, I was about 10 years old, and I was tucked into Grandma Fannie's big warm bed, and I watched her getting ready for church the next morning. She was a symphony, ebbing and flowing around the room to music only she could hear. And when she came and got into bed with me, I snuggled in close and soaked in her soap and her cocoa butter. That night, with light from the moon coming in the window, I watched my grandmother sleeping. I loved her. I stopped just short of touching her here. My fingers stark white against the dark chocolate of her skin. Never before that moment had I ever questioned whether or not I belonged to her. And there I was, an other. Though I made that discovery about myself, and how, you might ask, did I make that wondrous discovery? It turns out I'm not black. And you don't, unlike what my cousin told me, get darker with age. But grandmother never made me feel like I was an other. She loved so completely that I never again questioned my belonging. Fire does not discriminate. Fire consumes everything it touches. Baby girl, love like that. It wasn't until she passed away that I finally understood what she meant. The church, massive, and it was standing room only. After a beautiful service for my grandmother, a microphone was opened up so that people can come and say a word about her. Men and women of all ages, colors, nationalities filed to the stage like it was an abandoned microphone at a Toastmasters conference. When we didn't have enough food, Grandmother Fannie fed us. When I got out of prison, I had nowhere to go. Grandmother Fannie gave me a place to be. One after another, the stories kept coming. These men and women calling my grandmother their grandmother. And the light of her love shone brightly in every one of their eyes. Can you remember a time when you have hesitated to give love to another? I do. More times than I would like to admit, I have given love to another only after I decided they were worthy to receive it. I don't want to love like that anymore. Can we walk out of here today and not let race, religion, politics stand in the way of loving others? Loving another is simply loving so completely that one would never question their belonging. Fire does not discriminate. Fire consumes everything it touches. My friends, love like that. Madam Toastmaster.